Welcome everyone and thanks for tuning in. Today's guest is Baus. Baus is the founder of Decentral Games, which is a casino inside of the metaverse. That's right, a virtual casino in which you can play card games and roulette and attend concerts and art auctions with the rest of your friends inside of the metaverse. Now let's take a look at what DG is and how you can get involved. So here we are inside of Decentraland outside of Tomanoya Casino, one of the casinos run by Decentral Games. Let's take a look. And inside are tons of different table games in which you can try your luck at a chance to win some money. We have Roulette, we have Blackjack. Now upstairs, we have a lounge area and a video screen. Now this is only one location inside of Decentraland in which Decentral Games operates. There are a few different casinos, but right now we're focusing on Tomanoya.
So I'm going to play a round of Blackjack here, although I'm not very good. You're going to get an idea of how the gameplay works. So let's join. And right now we're just doing free plays, so let's do 50. Okay, dealer is going to deal cards in 5 seconds. See the countdown? This gives other users a chance to join in if they were here with me. 6 and 5. Okay, so for Blackjack, we want to hit 21. We don't want to go over 21 total between the two cards. So I'm going to hit, because we're only at 11. So now we're at 16. What the heck, for the sake of the video, I'm going to go ahead and hit. Ooh, 18. Now we're going to stay. And we pushed, which means me and the dealer tied. Let's take a look at Roulette. Okay, so now with Roulette, what we want to do is spin this wheel, and there's a little ball inside, and wherever the ball lands on one of these black or red numbers, if you pick that number, you win a prize. So let's just go red 23. And now we're going to spin the wheel. Again, this is free play. You can see the numbers counting and counting and counting above the wheel right here. And, red 19. We just missed it.
So now, check out the wearables that my avatar is wearing. See how it's just a random blue coat and jeans? Well, Decentral Games allows people to mine their coin, DG coin, when playing these table games. So when you're inside of the casino, when you're gambling with mana or die, you are also mining DG coin in the process. Part of their slogan, be the house, as you can see pictured here. Be the house. You are the house because you are earning profits when you're gambling, whether or not you're winning or losing. However, there is a way in which you can multiply these profits by switching your wearables to officially licensed Decentral Games wearables. Let's check that out. So here we're going to go into my backpack, and we are going to look for the Decentral Games wearables that I have. Here we have the tracksuit. So we have the top and we have the bottom. Now there are different Decentral Game wearables available. There is a mink fur coat. There's also DG slippers and DG slides. There's also a fall edition in which that there are different more formal wearables. However, the tracksuit is my personal favorite. That's what we're going to roll with. So now we've changed our wearables. What this does is increase our mining percentages of DG. So when you deploy the DG wearables to your avatar while inside the casino, they give you an added reward. Baus will talk more about this later in the video. And here we are over at the slot machine. So let's go ahead and pull, see what we got. So you have maker, you have die. Oh, what do we get? But how would you deposit money to gamble using mana or die? Good question. Let's go to the DG website. So here we're going to go to add tokens, and we can go to add mana. Now DG has enabled a fiat on-ramp via Transact, which means you don't even need a cryptocurrency to purchase these coins needed to gamble inside of the casino. Now you can go through and you can use your credit card or your debit card to purchase mana on either the Matic or the Ethereum network. To enable die gameplay, you need to go here and check these boxes. Make sure that you are in a jurisdiction where online gambling is permitted. Now again, all of this is inside of the virtual world called Decentraland. So if you want to experience the Decentral Games casinos, you must go to play.decentraland.org and then type in the correct coordinates, which is -118, 134. So hopefully you get the gist of what Decentral Games is. Make sure to go to play.decentraland.org to discover them, and make sure to swing by -118, 134 to check out Tomanoya Casino. Now, let's get to the interview and see what Baus has to say. And we are Rolling. So, boss, Miles, thanks for joining me. I know that you're super busy, lots of stuff going on with Decentral Games and the NFT space in general. So, I just wanted to start off with asking you, how has life been since you launched the DG coin?
It's been great. Thanks for having me on, by the way,
Mhm.
Interact. Always a pleasure. I would say since we launched the DG coin in December 1st, it's really increased the engagement of our community
Mhm.
because we did a big airdrop. If you actually hodled the airdrop like we did for all of our users,
Mhm.
it'd be worth like quite a bit now. I think it's like almost 1.6K
Yeah.
if you
Yep.
modeled it.
Hmm.
And like staking governments are even more. So I think a lot of people, appreciated that. And, our community was small, but, we had a lot of regulars that came back every day or every, event.
Hmm.
And we used to do them like once every couple of weeks. And we upped that to like once a week. And then now we're doing like 4 times to 5 times a week events like casino
Wow.
nights, NFT auctions, and we do big prizes and giveaways in DG and our NFTs every time. So I think now, especially like it's been almost 3 months. It's like 2.5 to 3 months after our launch in mainnet and DG Point. I think our community has really blossomed and
Yeah.
expanded. So it's been great to see. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, do you see, like, because you're right. I mean, you guys are pumping out events like crazy lately. It seems like you always have something going on, and especially during the week, which is really what Decentraland has been lacking. Do you notice, like, the same people coming back over and over again? Is it people that are coming and liking to play in groups? Are they coming and playing solo and they're just at a table by themselves for hours on end?
We have like a bunch of different genres of degen, but
Yeah,
I feel
right,
like
right, right.
but it's kind of all united with like
Hmm.
the kind of shared like appreciation of the games and wagering and just kind of like messing around in the metaverse. And
Hmm.
each one of our events, like we have like a live DJ, and so
Yeah.
it kind of is like a party atmosphere as well, and people are just kind of playing games and socializing. So it's a cool vibe. And recently, like we've been starting to do the auctions, which is great. We did our first auction was Crypto Champ, which like was a huge sale. It was like 10.5 ETH
Okay.
for his first meme NFT. And then since then, we've done like a few smaller sales. I mean, Sly West was like a
Yep.
pretty big
Yeah.
sale. And then we had some other like Maddie was like one of our community members, and we were kind of figuring out a way because everyone in our community is a lot of them are like exploring like NFT art,
Yeah.
and a lot of them are like don't really have a history of sales or anything. They're just kind of getting into it. So we kind of feel
Hmm.
like it's a cool way to engage everyone
Yeah.
and get their foot in the door with starting to make some art.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean the events they've been great. We have regulars. There's all different types of degens though, like the guys that kind of just come and play on themselves at the table and just do solo. There's a lot of them that like try to stack up the bonus for the DG
Okay.
mining. Like we give an extra bonus like for the DG that you mine like when you're playing in a group. So if you're playing with
Right.
2, 3, or 4 players, like you get more increasing amount of bonus.
Hmm.
So I feel like some people try to max that out, and they play with like a bunch of people at the table. Like 4 people is the max for blackjack at the table.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So, which game attracts the most degens? Is it roulette or is it blackjack? Where do you see users gravitating towards, or is it pretty equal?
It's for sure blackjack.
Yeah,
Yeah. I would say roulette is more like a solo degen like
that makes sense.
game.
Hmm.
Like most people like that play roulette kind of come in and just play it by themselves.
Hmm.
And like just do it for a bit. But blackjack is what really like gets folks to like play with each other,
Yeah.
um, and it's more social because of that. And
Hmm.
so yeah, I think blackjack is definitely our most popular game now, for sure.
Yeah. Do you foresee you guys adding any like newer games like Hold'em or anything like that in the near future, or are you just focused on these two games and that's it right now?
Yeah, we're actually super excited. So we just deployed Texas Hold'em like beta
Ooh,
version. So it's like
nice.
6 player max.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah,
favorite.
yeah,
Yeah, as an
yeah.
American, that's what we play a lot of.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The table games, like, you have to have a certain mindset to play them for like hours.
Yeah.
I feel like with Texas Hold'em, like you can sit down and play that for
Yeah.
hours, no problem. I would say because like each game
Hmm.
is like, it's different, and you're playing against other folks like instead of playing
Yeah.
against the house. So I think I'm really excited for it. I think they'll bring in a lot more users. Because right now, like our daily active users is around 300 to 350.
That's awesome.
And like depending on the like if it's an event or not that day.
Mm-hmm.
And so as we like try to scale this, the games and everything in the community, I would say the Texas Hold'em is going to be like super key because I think we'll attract a lot more people that will just sit down and play for a long time, and just like hang out, as opposed to like just come in because like our average like session is like anywhere from like 15 to 30 minutes,
right.
For folks that are playing like table games, but I think our average session for like Texas Hold'em would be a bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like our focus right now in terms of new games. After that, it's really up to the DAO vote to decide. But yeah, Texas Hold'em will be it's live now. Obviously, there's a few last things we're working out in terms of like the beta testing.
Mm-hmm.
But after we iron all these issues out, I would say we're trying to launch it like with DAI and Mana like by middle to end of March, I would say.
All this stuff is live at Tomonoya Casino. Are these games and the DG mining and stuff, is that also active at some of your other venues like Chateau and maybe Serenity Island and places like that?
Yeah, it's active at Chateau and Tomonoya. So those are the two casinos that we have the DG mining and like real money gambling,
mm-hmm.
Or crypto gambling. But for the other Serenity Casino, that one we're still like updating it and we're devising a better like process and updating all of them because we just had so many updates that we're pushing constantly that it's hard to maintain 3 code bases. Mm-hmm. So hopefully, in the near future, we'll be able to update all the code base in Serenity Island, so we can have events there as well.
Yeah, that one had the basement, I believe. That would be a good place for a Hold'em, is like a sketchy basement somewhere below some casino. Yeah, that was cool. That was one of the first builds that I kind of stumbled upon in Decentraland. What's the average price, or I guess the average amount that you see these users gambling with? Is it substantial amounts of money, or are most people just coming and kind of putting stuff down to tinker around with the technology there?
It's a lot of money, I would say. Like, I'd say a lot of people like going pretty big. I would say like our average user, it's because our user numbers are not like crazy. Like I said, we only have like 300 daily active users, and of those, like
that's still pretty.
It depends on the.
It's still pretty good, man. That's pretty good though.
Yeah. Like, well, that's not even paid though. Like in crypto, like for crypto, it's like much less. It's anywhere from like 50 to 100 or so. Maybe only 150 if you have a big event.
Okay.
But like in terms of we have free play games, so like that's kind of the foot in the door. So if folks like just messing around with the games, and then they can choose to play with crypto if they want. So I think it's a good model. But obviously, we're trying to increase the amount of, crypto users in the games. But yeah, I mean, for each user, like I would say, like the average amount of bets that each user has wagered so far has been like upwards of like $10,000. Around $10,000. So it's pretty sizable. Obviously, that's not like losses, but that's total bets like over the course of a month or two, or over the course of 2 months.
Okay.
So it's been pretty substantial amount of wagering. And we recently just raised our max bets. So like in one hand of Blackjack, it used to be like 200 DAI, an equivalent mana approximately, and now it was just voted by the DAO to be raised to 500 DAI for a hand. And then there's actually a proposal active right now in our snapshot DAO page that's proposing to increase it to 1,000 DAI. So like people are going to be betting 1,000 DAI for Blackjack and pretty soon here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy to think about. We'll touch on the DAO a bit later, but you had just mentioned that you guys were not actively pursuing, but kind of looking for ways to get crypto users involved. And have you noticed, since you've launched the on-ramp, the fiat on-ramp via Transact, Have you noticed people taking advantage of that? Because playing around with it, it seems like the perfect way to get someone involved in crypto. But I wonder if people maybe aren't familiar with it, so they're choosing like not to use it. It seems a little foreign to them. What have you guys noticed from your side of things?
Yeah, I would say it's used somewhat, but
Hmm.
to be honest, I feel like it was definitely it's not as used as much as we thought. I
Yeah.
think the problem is like users still have to like download MetaMask and
Yeah.
like save their private key, like their passphrase, somewhere safe, and I feel like that intimidates a lot of people, and
Hmm.
they don't really know what to do, and they can if they mess up, they can lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's still just not a good system for the masses. I do think Decentraland is working on integration with like some easier to use, like more user friendly wallets, where you
Hmm.
can like create a wallet on the spot with like a
Yeah.
SMS, phone number or
Hmm.
an email address, and so you'd have like a username and password traditional login. So I think that's going to be a huge step. I don't know what the ETA is, but I think it'll be soon from Decentraland. I think that's something that we're really looking forward to because it'll enable us to onboard non-crypto folks a lot easier. And then obviously then they can purchase the direct like fiat to Matic or fiat to Matic DAI
Hmm.
purchases like directly to that wallet. So I think that'll be a huge step. I think that'll be an even bigger step than even just adding the transact like fiat on ramp, just because like people will be able to just create wallets much easier. Like what folks are used to, in traditional non-crypto sites like using your password.
Hmm. Before moving into the DAO, I forgot to ask, when you see these new users coming in, is everyone decked out in the DG wearables and stuff? Do you see those popping up all the time in the casino, or do people seem to not even kind of understand that concept?
Yeah, a lot of people are wearing them. They
Hmm.
actually like they shot up in price. They're like super pricey now, and like it's kind of
Yeah.
hard for us to like we're giving them away still as prizes, but only as like the first place prize in like a
Okay.
crypto competition. So you
Hmm.
have to like really earn it, but like yeah, they're pretty pricey. I think like upwards of like 1,600 or
Yeah.
so at the current mana price. Like it's
Hmm.
pretty pricey for like just like a virtual coat. But obviously,
Hmm.
giving the user the bonus of 10% to their DZ mining is definitely like
Hmm.
some utility that can actually like pay for itself eventually if you're like a heavy gambler. So
Yeah.
um, for the true degens, yeah, I think it's definitely something that it's useful
Mm.
and it's a good investment. I would say just because it can actually pay for itself. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's been funny to see like there's been like lots of groups of people that come into the casino and just are all decked out in DG wearables.
Hmm. And you guys have what, 4 or 5 different ones? Is there there's the glasses, there's the mink coat, and then there's the tracksuit and the shoes and the slippers, I think. Am I missing
Yeah, so we got
anything?
the tracksuit, like a top and bottom
Yep.
tracksuit, and then we have the mink, the slides, the DZs,
The slides.
and then the spectacles. That was our summer
Yeah.
collection. That's like the most
Oh,
common one
that's right.
users.
You guys have the fall
Yeah, yeah,
collection too.
exactly. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. The fall one is not very big. It was only 10 each, so it's not very common. But the summer collection was like definitely our most common set,
Hmm.
um, and that's the one that everyone always is rocking.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's such a cool incentive. I think that your project is the first. Maybe I'm drawing a blank on the name. The craft guys. Um,
Oh, Japcraft.
Yeah, Dabcraft. Dabcraft implemented the one event where you had to have the wearable on to get access into the bubble, like the venue space. But when it
Yeah.
comes to mining and stuff like that, you guys are definitely the first project to implement the wearable side of things. So is that kind of where the road ends for wearables, or is there more plans for utility in the future? Like, what is I guess what can you do with them in the future? What are you exploring from a utility side of
Um,
things?
we're trying to figure out a few strategies
Mm.
around like kind of membership based models, like with our wearables and our
Okay.
token. So yeah, like kind of just different tiers of like rewards and events or more exclusive venues and stuff as we roll out like poker lounges and everything. So yeah, we're definitely trying to incorporate additional utility. But yeah, from a base utility standpoint, I would say the mining is just a good start. But yeah.
Recently, you guys just added, what was it, like $130,000 worth of wearables to the DAO, I think. Can you talk about like just the launch of the DAO and how it came about, and basically what got you guys to decide to put NFTs inside the DAO itself? Because this is the first DAO that has included virtual land in it, and you guys put like 405 or 403 different land parcels inside the DAO, which is nearly 3 acres of virtual real estate. So what was the thinking behind that? Like, what's the future plans or that you guys see from it?
Yeah, I mean, so I feel like for the DG DAO, Decentral Games DAO, we kind of wanted it to be like this kind of entity that obviously is governed by the DG token holders, but that kind of becomes like a pretty strong force in the metaverse and open metaverse. As more users and speculators and everyone kind of comes into the metaverse. I thought it would be interesting to just put all these assets inside the DAO, just so. For in terms of DG utility, obviously, initially the DAO was for like economic policy management of the gameplay profits and stuff. So it was kind of like this financial, played this financial role in the ecosystem. So I thought it would make sense to just put the land directly into the DAO as well, because I thought the DAO would just be stronger if it never had to worry about like a lands board or any like centralized like entity holding the land that the casinos are on. And so I feel like it just made the whole package much stronger because it's all in one, and DG token holders are able to govern the land, the wearables too that affect like the DG distribution, because the wearables kind of have to do with the economic policy too, because the DAO is able to like adjust like the bonus rates and stuff. So I feel like it just all made sense for everything to just be inside the DAO, just because the token holders, the DG holders, are pretty much in control of everything.
Yeah, and when you say govern the land, you mean like the DG holders can vote like what's placed on there and stuff, right? And kind of what you guys do with it.
Yeah, exactly. They can go to new games, new casinos, like renting the land out to someone, selling the land potentially.
That's cool.
Obviously, I wouldn't advise because I want to keep the land.
Right.
I would vote to not sell it, but obviously, because like right now, like our 3 casinos that we've made are they only take up like 140 parcels, maybe 130, and so we have like almost like 270 extra parcels to build on. Wow. So I think that's pretty sufficient for now. But obviously, in the future, maybe we would, buy more land. I suppose we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think it made sense for the DAO to be in possession of the land, the wearables, and on top of the gameplay profits, just so it's all kind of in one entity.
And how many votes have you held via the DAO now? And what type of voter turnout are you seeing?
We have a pretty solid voter turnout, actually. We've had a lot of votes too. Let's see, 1, 2. So yeah, 22 votes in 6 weeks. About 6 weeks. We've had 22 different proposals. And some of them like don't reach the threshold, but some do, and most of them do. And like I think the main thing for us for our DAO participation is the fact that it like kind of like our whole like marketing and like our whole like pitch to people in the community is like be the house. And I feel like a lot of people resonates with them, and it's very simple. And like by like owning DG, you can vote to allocate house funds. You essentially are the house, and so that's kind of what we wanted to reflect in our governance dashboard. When you go to Decentral.games/DG, is like the first thing you see is like the treasury balance, like the breakdown of the balance between gameplay funds, DG funds, land, wearables, Uniswap, LP funds, and then like we're recently we voted to like move $150,000 of new gameplay profits into the it's like a yield farm and so that's included here too, but still zero. It's obviously going to be added. Funds are going to be moved into that soon. But yeah, so that's kind of like what we wanted to reflect with the dashboard is like and kind of communicate is be the house. And I think because of the resonation it's had with people like involved with the project, I think that's kind of why we've had such a big involvement with governance. And I think also, the voting is off chain too, so like you don't have to pay gas. Like it's basically just based on the amount of DG you have like staked in the governance contracts. Okay. And so like you're just basically you just have to sign a transaction, like not an actual transaction, just like just provide a signature, and then it just allocates the amount of votes to you that equal to the DG that you have staked. So it's a pretty simple process. It's just like one signature for each vote.
Okay. Before I get you out of here, then, without revealing too much or any exclusive partnerships and stuff like that, have you guys seen like any interest from outside of the immediate NFT and metaverse space from different projects or potential investors or just anyone really like taking interest in the metaverse stuff and what you guys are doing with a virtual casino?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a lot of interest and appetite from like traditional like tech investors in NFTs and metaverse. I think open metaverse specifically, like this whole narrative around the decentralized open metaverse is finding itself on a lot of theses of like these big, investment venture firms. So I think, it's 2021 is going to be big, I think, it's already huge for NFTs, but I think in terms of metaverse, I think it's going to be even bigger than it already has been because of this like kind of new interest in an investment from these like larger kind of more traditional tech firms. So yeah, I think that's obviously going to be huge. We've spoken with a few different partners that want like custom casinos, and we actually recently just like passed a governance vote a couple days ago that allows the DG team to negotiate strategic partnerships for custom venues and use like a percentage of the rake as like a negotiation item. So yeah, that's great. I think we're definitely going to. I'm glad that we got this approved, and we're definitely looking forward to securing some key partnership.
Awesome. And then what can we expect from Decentral Games in the next, let's say, 4 to 6 months? Is there going to be additional venues open in Decentraland? Do you guys have any big like concerts or entertainment stuff taking place in the casino? What can users look forward to?
So first and foremost, the poker launch that's coming like beta is next week, and then like we're opening it up to the the community. It's already deployed, but I think we'll have it at a good spot to open up to like a bigger beta test.
And that'll be with the free play.
Yeah, it's free play. Yeah,
gotcha.
Exactly. And then obviously just expanding the existing events that we have and just really scaling the amount of them and kind of figuring out a way to scale the amount of users per event, because last event we had like over like throughout the hour like 80 to 100 kind of coming and going. Like at a certain time it was like maybe 50 active amongst like 2 realms, and I think we need to devise a strategy to kind of split the users up ideally, because I was in one realm that was the main realm and it was like 40 users and it was like lagging, and then I hopped to another realm and then it was like totally fine. The games were fine. So I think in terms of our games, if they can scale well for like I would say 250, 300 concurrent users, I think it's scale no problem. The real bottleneck is like Decentraland's like client, and just the amount of avatars in the scene, and like the more avatars, then obviously the more lag. So that's kind of like what we're focused on first in terms of tackling bottlenecks. So yeah, I'd say the first 4 to 6 months from today, poker, and then just bigger events, bigger named artists like hosting the events, that's basically the real focus for now.
Awesome. Well, personally, I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure tons of other metaverse users are. So until then, boss, thank you for making the time, and good luck with everything in the future.
Thanks, Anurag. Thanks
Yep.
for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Yep.